Hello and welcome. It is the 25th day of August 2019. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management is always job number one within this trading game. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some coins. One chain, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. Ethereum Classic. Now we'll take a look at some Theta, its ratio. We'll take a look at some Bitcoin and a couple interesting articles that are relatively new and old at the same time, and go over them, which is one stating why you should and shouldn't be getting into cryptocurrencies. Okay, so we had this coin be worth close to 10,000. It's fallen down to 2. Now it's at 372. On the 3-day term, on March the 14th, it got up to 1294. It's down quite a bit then. It's attempting to reverse the trend. That's what we see here. It's already done stage number 1 and stage number 2. It's doing it quick, but we're getting close to stage number 3 as well. Out of curiosity, the 18 and stage number 3 has come back to the 18. The 18 average of highs right now is in at 298. And then after that, we have this daily chart, which you can see the huge volatility. So in here again, how much you lost, how fast. So it came up to this high of 590, which is basically where it started breaking down from on June the 14th. Well, it broke out from this 206 or so level, which had arrived there on August the 6th. So we can see that what it gained in 3 periods was what it lost in almost 2 months. Let's look at it even further. Look at how much we've lost from here to here over just today and yesterday. And let's just get this in hours. How many hours has it been? This top was 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday. So it's been a day and a change, day and a third or so since the top. Okay. So in a little over a day, we've lost down to this low, which was on June the 21st. So the amount we've lost in the last day was what it lost in a week, but different circumstances. The circumstances here is that it had a huge, immaculate rally going from like a 3x move almost. A little over 200 to a little under 6. 3x gain within the market. So it's basically one of the top losers that I see on Binance. Not too many top winners, so I'm going to go over it very quickly. MTH is the best top gainer over 24 hours, close to 20% though, which is why I don't want to give it too much time. Which is Monetha or Monetha. But it's in the exact same situation as the last one. This one went from 125 to 269, so better than a 2x move, not other than not quite a 3. And it's went from 269 down to 182. On the daily chart, okay. This one was more, okay, you go, this had an open of 313 and it had a high of 890. So it has done close to a 3x move before. And I suppose if I multiply this by 100 million, it will look much different. Because there's 100 million numbers in the decimal, so now I got 182. And yeah, you can see this move has a little, can see it a little more clearly. A lot of these failed breakouts that we can see along this here. We have this one here, and then it failed. We have this one here, eventually failing. This was a microscopically small one. A little bit one here on the top of a move. This one here on the start of that move. And even this failed selling move here, or just someone just selling it down really big. But you'll see if this is a success or a failure, because that's what the statement is. Oh, I'm going to try to revert the trend. And it stated that. on June 12th and it sucked or it got its ass kicked in doing it, we can see how it failed on the 18 lows. There was your indication that, okay, it was a failure move. And like I've stated before, I don't like to see when it has a big move above the 18 average of highs to retest the lows the next day or the next period. If it's going to make a move above this like this, I don't want to see it touch the 18 average of lows for 3 to 4 or 5 periods and for it to start to rise. And 3, 4, 5 periods would require still a good sell off to get there. But yeah, so let's just get off of this and move to ETC next. And like a lot of these cryptocurrencies, getting their asses kicked. So getting above the 18 here just a few times because I had a sideways range between the 1858 and around 28 or something around in here. But getting above here, failing. Okay, so what have we done on the 3 day? Getting above in here, it flattened out the market. All it did was neutralize it. A failed rally attempt on April the 7th. And then it looked like it was starting to possibly do this and break it out again here, but it didn't hold the 18 average of lows on this point. So now it's back above it again. Daily chart, 3 straight days up and a little bit of nice sideways action. So it's doing better on the daily than before. When it did a few days up here, it took 3 days to go right back to the 18. No back to the 18 yet here. This one here, look how fast it comes back, and obviously failed the 18 lows on April the 20th on this time frame. I don't know if this is going to be real or not. It might. If it is, obviously it's got a long ways to go. 3 hour term time frame. There we have a nice little breakout from this level here at 500 and change up to about 7.5. So a gain of about 50%. 500 to 750. What's the differential? About 250. 250 divided by 5 is a half. That's 50%. Okay. So from this high, we come back down to the 18 and a good amount of correctionary moves in here. I got to look. It looks just blindly looking at this. It looks like about 12 or 13 periods or something. So a good amount of time, and then above it. So whether it's able to make this move, it's broken out back to the 18. You've established this resistance again within this area here, getting out of the range between 735 and 750. Oh, baby, watch out. Now I'm trying to sell this right now, and well, we can see it was right in. I'm gonna go the 1 minute because that's it was right in here. It was around 8:34, 8:35 in the morning. And I would have sold it in here easily if I was able to, but I was sleeping, which is fine. So 720 is where I tried to put. I put my sell order for 720. Obviously, it didn't go through. Then this happened. Okay, and then I noticed at that time that everything of what I own on the altcoins was having a small dip like this in this manner, which includes theta, which also means this went from like 1268 to 1238 right now. So I'm trying to flip ETC for theta. I want a little bit better of a price right now. So if ETC can have a nice little breakout and this doesn't do anything big on the upside, I'm going to sell it. If this goes down decently and ETC hangs in there, meaning going sideways and not changing its price too much, then I'll sell ETC and buy theta. And right now on the ETC theta cross daily chart, after the sideways move, getting it above, but just nice volatility when you take a look at these levels. 42 and change, 42 and a quarter, up to 54. That's a differential of like 10 basis points, over 20%. Nice little down move, up move, down move, up move, down move, and now it's going back up. And I did sell up here. I did buy down here, and I'm looking to sell again up here. That's really the basics on it. And as I was showing on the 1 minute time frame, well, I want to sell this on the way up, so it's not like 834. Where's 834 in here? All right, this little area. I was trying to sell in this little area here, but I wanted to. I kind of want to get nicely over 57. So I'm still going to wait it out and then make the trade. Switch it to the 15. Then if I trade at 57, then if it goes up more and it breaks above this resistance up to into here somewhere, then I'll sell more. And if I sell here and it goes back down, I got a level at 48. That would probably increase to like 52. That's just one of my alerts, which I'm going to have to change because it was, I would have put this in last night somewhere, in, maybe even in here. Now, within Bitcoin dominance, everything was going down because after I realized that the ETC trade wasn't going through or the market was going down, okay, I'm thinking, I'm looking at everything else. I'm thinking, okay, everything's down 1% or 2% in the last, like, that exact few minute period. So I realized this was going on, and sure enough, it is, which shows Bitcoin dominance, just having just a short-term move. Overall, there's really not much going on short-term. It's pretty tight in a consolidation mode, actually. A lot of major support here. This levels of lower. We've had lower highs. So for the since 20 hours, 4 days ago. So little over 3.5 days. We've had this low volatility, and we can see it even clearly on the daily. Just doing all of this in here and consolidating from this move. So it hasn't gotten rid of any of this bullish action, making all of these higher lows since the early April lows, 52, and then we had multiple hit lows at 57. Once hit low at 63, and then again at 64 and 3/4. So you can say a twice hit low in that range, and then a once hit for several days low at 67. So hit once, but I mean it was there for like a week, and then right now established in at 70 right now. Because if we break out from here, then that'll be a key low. If we don't and we start to go down, well, then that low will be deleted or changed to whatever that lower number happens to be. It's been making higher highs and higher lows, and until it doesn't, it will continue to do so. Switching over to Bitcoin against the dollar now, which had an interesting move at that 9:44 time frame, or 8:44 rather. It's 9:40 a.m. as I'm doing it. So we're staying above that level of support. You have a descending triangle, but you also got it symmetrical as well in the more recent term. When we look at this on a 3-hour chart, multiple hit lows, still a bunch of these lower highs. And this move we've had today still hasn't gotten above that high. If it does get above it with this low in place, that'll be like a double bottom formation. And if it gets above the neckline, I'd be looking for a test of the previous high near 10,900. But overall, it's just all in the sideways mess again on the daily chart until it breaks in between these highs or lows. It's just in the sideways move, making like maybe a bull flag, as some might call it, from whichever lows you want to deal with. The April breakout lows, we got three we can choose from. How about these lows in February, and then of course these lows back in December. So until it breaks it, it's symmetrical on so many levels too. Here we got. I mean, this is. It's got to break it at some point. So now on the 1 hour chart, this was the move here where it was. We'll do the 1 minute, 44 minutes after, right here. Goes up for 2 minutes, and then we have an ascending triangle on the short term, obviously breaking it to the upside. One good period up, which was about 0.5%, then a pause of negative zero point 0.1, and then another nice up move of 0.4% higher. So one leg up, two legs up, and that's been the final one so far. Price action has stayed during this point in this trend. It's pretty much attempted here to break it to the downside, but that's not, and this is a terrible trend line. But regardless of the fact where this resistance, it's far away from it at this very short term 1 minute. And that's all about teaching or just going over chart analysis at the one, because you're watching this several minutes after 9:42 a.m. Eastern time, which is the time I'm doing it now. And we'll conclude on the monthly chart, which is just continuing to pause. 25th day of August, so it's really close to the end of the month. Okay, just more waiting game more than anything after two meh up periods because it was like 11% and like 8. Literally, that's meh. That's like nothing. But if the stock market has an 8% up month, that's pretty good. Here, meh, whatever. Well, pretty good here was 28.6%. pretty phenomenal. Only pretty phenomenal. Meaning you can do better, but or you can do more phenomenal it is, but pretty phenomenal is 62.22%. Then another pretty good month of 25.89%. And then really a hardly anything decline of 6.27%. And then really not even going up at 155. But the holding in there from this move, and that's why when I say if it can hold and stay above this for a little bit of time, then give it a lot of credentials, and that's what it's doing. So if I'm to say back in here, okay, if this thing can hold and stay above the 18 average of highs for more than a couple, three periods, oh, it's done that. Okay. Okay, well, doing pretty good. So I've been looking at a few of these articles. Let's just take a look at this one first. The 10 most important cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. This is from Investopedia.com. Bitcoin has just been a trendsetter, ushering in a wave of cryptocurrencies built on a decentralized peer-to-peer network. It's become the de facto standard for cryptos, inspiring an ever-growing legion of followers and spin-offs. And I'm not going to go through uh, cryptocurrency, broadly defined as a virtual or digital money which takes the form of coins or tokens. Beyond that, the field of cryptocurrencies is always expanding. The next great digital token may be released tomorrow for anyone in the cryptocurrency. Anyone can make cryptos, and a lot of people do, but a lot of times they get referred to as really shit coins kind of deal, and most of them are. They got number one at LITECOIN, and this is mainly a list of the core historical ones. And for me, I own I think all but two or three of them. Litecoin I own, of course. Ethereum I don't own, but I'll trade its market on. When I do ratio trades, I'll either use Bitcoin, the Ethereum, or the Tether market, or the Binance market too. ZEC I don't own that, but it hasn't been doing too well. A lot of coins though haven't been doing as well. Dash I do own. Ripple I own. Monero I do not own. Bitcoin Cash I own. Neo I do. Cardano I used to. I'm not in right now in EOS. I don't think I own it. No, I don't own EOS. I've been thinking about it for a while though. But back to the list of let's do the reasons why you shouldn't invest in cryptocurrencies. And this was dated on May the 31st. Alrighty, so this is done by hackernoon.com. And 7 reasons why you should not invest into cryptocurrencies. For the last 3 months, the cryptocurrency market has been on a tear reminiscent of the 2017 bull market. I'm going to edit that. No. Okay, up to that point, yes. April, May, really it was 2 months. On May the 31st, I'm gonna have to change that for 2 because the breakout started April the 1st. The cryptocurrency market has been on a tear. Yes, reminiscent of. No, it was reminiscent of the 2015-2016 retracement market. Retracement market? Well, yes. We go back into here. Reminiscent of this. Because 2017 was this, which was reminiscent of this. See, retracement market is where you have a key high, which back then was here, and a key low. And then you're leaving that low, which means you're attempting to go, and in a bull market, you expect to break it. Well, that's where we are now in this one here, because we got this high, we got this low, we're in retracement market, bull market, you're expecting to break this high and make new highs somewhere at least up here. So conservatively, breaking above this level is close to 100,000. But back to the article. Well, I'm happy to see a resurgence in price because it means good business for us here at HODLBot. I'm also very wary. Times like this inspire FOMO, or fear of missing out, and pose a dangerous invitation for those waiting to invest in cryptos for all the wrong reasons. There's enough material out there to tell you why you shouldn't be investing in cryptos. Here are some of the biggest reasons why you shouldn't. Number one, you have high interest debt. Once my crypto portfolio moves, the first thing I'll do is pay off my student debt loans and credit card debt, and all these are anonymous. Now, I'm probably one of the last persons that should be talking about, okay, well, what's your stories about paying off debt? Well, at one point, I was paying what was it, 50, $60 a month on student loans, maybe? $40 a month, and I end up paying it off. But I never really ever was into debt, and I've been so anti-debt my whole life. So I've always been one not to believe to get into debt. But if you're in a situation where, let's just assume you are worth negative dollars on a financial level, and the average person is because of the fiat monetary debt based model, how it's designed, where debt is guaranteed to exist for everyday citizens, corporations, businesses, and governments or countries. So, as far as that's concerned, you have to do something to get out of it. And any type of business venture is always going to have risk, and technically trading is like a business venture. And then job is just over broke. So if you have a job, I mean, I don't know what else to say, but if you're trying to do it, I have to think that if you tie up part of your saving or portions, if you have some into it, it's one way of easily doing just exactly what you state. Number two, you want to day trade because you think it's easier compared to other assets. I heard I can achieve financial freedom by learning how to day trade Bitcoin because it's way easier than Forex, which is the foreign exchange market. I hear this one consistently. Here's why it's not true. Financial markets are ruthlessly efficient. Traders are consistently seeking new and improved strategies regardless of the asset class. While cryptos may seem like a new asset class to you, it's been home for a myriad of algorithm traders and professional traders for years now. If you're looking for low hanging, easy opportunities to trade and make money, you'll find nothing but slim pickings here. Okay. Is this a new one? Yeah, okay, this is the same thing. Day traders fail to compare their performance against the market benchmark. When evaluating how performant your active trading strategy is, you should always compare it to the market index, saying you made money or outperformed. Well, basically, in that's yeah, overperforming the market. So, what's your main base currency? So, it could be when you're trading cryptos, it could be Bitcoin, it could be Litecoin, it could be the US dollar, or whatever. And it could be a combination of them. And how are you overperforming that? So, if you start off as, say, like for myself, I've been in double digit Bitcoin, I've of net value. I started off with less than one Bitcoin. I turned a fraction of a Bitcoin into double digits. So, yeah, I've been able to overperform the market. But when we look at the first part, financial markets are ruthlessly efficient. Well, so these ones are becoming really efficient too. After all, we've seen stuff like how the Fibonacci retracements have worked really well and different whatever methods. And you got to find the method. If you're using the exact same strategies that you use on the forex markets within it, you'll notice that there's made different tweaks, and you have to assess on the market you're doing how it's going to work. But there's a lot of content to go over here too. It's easy to get lucky in the short run, but it's hard to stay lucky for long. I don't know where I want. I don't know what else to say about this. I mean, I guess the best thing to say is there's a lot of day traders that are going to lose because of the fact that they think they're really good, but they just haven't been able to figure it out. You want to invest in the newest fad cryptocurrency. POW blockchain networks are so 2017. I'm just going to leave that out. You have FOMO and want to make money quick. I know it's a bubble. I want to get in and get out before the bubble pops. I mean, I'm going to. This is a really good one here. I'm going to change it to how I think it is. I think it's a bubble. Uh, I don't know it's going to be no. I do want to get in and out before the possible bubble pops. I think that, but there's even more to that. I think the probability odds of another surge move higher over the next several months into the 2020s is extremely high. And the opportunity to turn cryptos into other assets is going to be phenomenal. That's what I'm saying. And of course, using the in and out strategy, trading it in my markets. Well, I talk about I want to sell Ethereum Classic. How much Ethereum Classic do you think I want to sell to buy? I want to how in dollar terms. Don't write in the comments section, but you can. I'm going to give you an answer in about 5 or 6 seconds. maybe $20 or $30 worth. $20 or $30 worth of ETC I want to sell to buy $20 or $30 worth of theta. See, I can't do that in traditional markets. That's just something else worth this. Cryptocurrency is a speculatory asset. So is fiat currency, and I don't think it's got a good chance of surviving. So just something else to think about. You don't have an emergency cash fund. Every time I pay rent, I just pull it out of my cryptocurrency portfolio. At times when I pay rent, I can pull it out of my cryptocurrency portfolios. A better way of saying that. Four, I believe, as far as one's investing strategy, that you have three different asset classes. Of course, you have to be at a financial level to be at this, but it's not the hardest for a lot of people to do in most developed countries. And that is have fiat currency of your local area, have precious metals, gold, silver, and have cryptocurrencies. And then, when the situation is right to quote unquote profit take in the crypto space, then you do so. And you can do things like pay rent, pay groceries, get go on a nice vacation. After all, oftentimes they can give you those opportunities. You're trying to make back what you lost. You know what? When markets go bad, I'm going to have to get back what I lost. But when I do so, it's just like Bitcoin. I'm down. I can say I'm down decently from where I was on January of 2018. But I'm up a lot from where I started back in February of 2017. Invest responsibly always. Portfolio diversification, hedge against inflationary. Oh, these are plenty of good reasons. Okay, yeah. Portfolio diversification, it's just huge. Hedge against inflationary fiat currencies. Uh, it's like insurance. Do you have car insurance and other things like that? Well, you're kind of forced to, but you're not forced into fiat currency insurance. Something to think about. Owning censorship resistant assets, privacy, holding it, because when you have stocks, you don't own it. The I mean, you can do all the things you want to do on your trading site platform, but you physically don't have complete access to it. Your broker does. Okay, now let's move into this article here. And well, this is from newbitcoinuser.com. 10 reasons why you should invest into cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency, was initially designed to work as a decentralized digital payment network. Since its inception, it has experienced significant growth in value and offered crazy returns to its early investors. Crazy returns, yeah, I mean, mathematically, yeah. Blockchain technology, cryptocurrency as a mode of payment, and as I've mentioned, I mean, buying things like gold and silver, it can be done, and it's not hard for these for at least for Canada, United States, to use it for your everyday places like all your restaurants and grocery stores and gas stations, hotels, things like that. Not hard. In fact, it's really easy. The best performing asset class, increase in value, under store of value. This is the interesting one because a lot of people state that it is not a store of value. Well, maybe we just happen to live in a day and age where gold and silver is the only asset classes out there that really have amazing store of value. I mean, salt is good. Salt doesn't go bad, and you can store it, and we're always gonna need salt, but it's not too convenient, at least on a per pound level, in storing it. One of the reasons why I'm so anti copper, although I do have a good, but not as big of a small copper penny collection. I'm just a coin collector as well. But store of value. Within cryptocurrencies, you know it doesn't have a long term store of value. But right now, it's I'm pretty damn confident that for the rest of the year, it's a store of value. And there's a damn good chance it's going to be in 2020. Whether it goes up or down at times, well, that has to happen. Gold and silver's been going up and down. Silver used to be $50 twice. Now it's like 20, under 20, as it goes. Um, but when it comes down to it, we have more and more people that are entering into the knowledge of how fiat currency is created. They're entering the knowledge that it is a scam based system, a debt based system that, of course, is controlled by central bankers, not decentralized bankers. So when I get to that point about how I think it's a long term bubble, yeah, I do. I think there's a decent chance that it's going to be very difficult for these current cryptocurrencies to survive moving forward, yet I want to invest in it. Because I do see here, as this market goes, that if we're in any type of bubble, it's probably going to happen after a break to at least one more next key level. Now, I could be wrong. It could break this support, come down here, maybe do another lower high and do all this type of stuff to nothing, maybe. But starting really at this high, and even for that matter in here and break down, I don't think so because I'm looking at the fundamentals of tangibility of the more and more people that are understanding the fact that, well, this is where to go. And that's what's going to drive these markets higher. That's what I think is going to happen. And because Bitcoin is one of those currencies that is really expensive on the fees and very volatile, you can get to the points where this can break out to like 30, 50, 60, 70,000 on the way up. And next thing you know, you're talking about $100 just to withdraw it off the blockchain. Those things are going to happen. And there's a lot of reasons why I don't like it as it is, let alone the entire fact. Because when you look at stuff people like what Peter Schiff talks about, how there's absolutely no value to it. Well, what is the value to an actual working blockchain system as the Bitcoin is? It does have the value, whether it's this valuable or not, or whether it's way more valuable. I don't know. But what I also do know is that market discovery, it's a price discovery. It's always been in this form where we're looking to discover what the prices are. But it does seem to me a lot of people, especially with the newer generation, a lot of people don't understand really the whole gold and silver mechanism too much as it is. Oh, there are people that will, and that's going to be going up too. Obviously, I don't think it will go up as much in a rate of percentage. Meaning this thing goes up to like, say, 60, 70, or does a 6, 7x move. Well, gold might do a 2x move, and maybe silver does a 3x move. Maybe. And if, say, silver does an 8x move, maybe Bitcoin does a 20, but maybe not. I am predicting that it is, but I got the diversification. I got all three asset classes I talk about. I got fiat currency, both digitally and mainly in paper rectangles. I got physical gold and silver. And I got cryptocurrencies where I hold the private keys. So the vast majority of all three of those asset classes that I own are in my own possession. Yeah, I got fiat currency in the bank account. I have some cryptocurrencies in Binance, but only a little bit. So that is how I'm looking at it. Now, where we go in the future from, I don't know. Maybe Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies will survive into the 30s and 40s and 50s. But by having a diversification portfolio where it's in there, then I'm going to have it. And obviously, if cryptocurrencies ever fail, whether it's now or later, I've already turned them into things like precious metals and other different forms, and will continue to do so as long as I can. But the whole point of it is be in a situation where if, say, something it gets in bad shape, that it's not going to really hurt you immaculately on an immaculate level. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.